please take a second to make sure you're
I'm good. I can breathe.
always very legato. Always. One, two, Shouldn't do it. Let's do it. Play Banco. A couple things could happen. One option is to stop at the chord right before the repeat, or if we need to keep going, we'll circle around to the first chorale we did. So.
Which repeat?
Which repeat? There's only one repeat.
Oh, I forgot. Never mind. Sorry, I read the mark.
All right, so let's start thing going for 1. Alright, so 1, 2, 1, 2,
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our ceremony this evening. We'll be beginning in a few moments. Before we do, I'd like your attention for some important general and safety information for today's ceremony. In order to comply with the fire codes of the state of Tennessee, we must advise you of emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency, please move rapidly and orderly out of the building using the marked exits. Please take a moment and look around the area to discover the exit closest to you. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is prohibited. Reporting of emergencies of those in need of assistance should be reported to the Pellissippi State Police officers located around the building. Medical personnel are located outside of the building nearest to exit 1 in the event you or someone you are with is in need of emergency assistance. You are welcome to take photos from your seat during the ceremony. Please do not leave your seat to take photos near the stage. Doing so makes viewing and professional photography difficult. Once the ceremony has concluded and our graduates have recessed, each guest row or section will be dismissed by an usher. The stage will not be available for photographs after the ceremony. However, we have several locations set up in the lobby area for photo opportunities for family and friends. We'd like to make the following acknowledgments and thanks to those before we do begin: Faith Promise Church and their Pellissippi campus leadership, our student and staff musical talent assisting with the ceremonies this evening, our brass ensemble providing pre-ceremony music, Laura Harmon for providing our, Laura Harmon for providing our processional music, our student quartet who will be singing the national anthem. At the close of today's ceremony, please note that the main roads that surrounds Faith Promise Church is a one-way loop. As you leave the building today, we encourage you to exit the parking lot and drive northwest toward Oak Ridge to return to Pellissippi Parkway. Thank you all for your attention and cooperation. And if you are able to do so, please stand as we welcome the graduates into the auditorium.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everybody. Ladies, gentlemen, faculty, parents, grandparents, you guys can sit if you'd like. It truly is incredible that we are all here right now in the same space. Congratulations to everybody for being here. I know a lot of people came from far, some people came from just down the road. I know everybody came through that horrible Hardin Valley traffic, right? I know that. Seriously though, congratulations to the 2024 graduates. I'm beyond proud of all of you. When I first began thinking about this speech, if I'm being honest, I became petrified. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to summarize and just perfectly capture everyone's experience and journey in just a few short moments. I began to reflect on all of the interactions and the experience that I had had just in this year alone. One thing I came to realize is that that is a near impossible challenge. One of the things that makes Pellissippi so strong is its diverse background and its broad amount of diversity. We have students, and one that I've become fairly good friends with, and he's one of the only students that I know that can pull out his student ID card and his AARP card in the exact same sentence, right? Meanwhile, we have another student who I look at them and I think, oh my goodness, you're brilliant, you're passionate, you're bold. Why are you so sporadic and unfocused? Come to find out that they're a dual enrollment student and they're still a junior in high school, right? We can all think back of when we were that time, knowing we felt the exact same way. But what's also interesting is that we have students whose parents were born here, they graduated from Bearden, they had them, and that student graduated from Bearden. They're here now. We have other students who immigrated here, fleeing unstable conditions, all in a hopes to start a better life. they're here. We have first-generation students reaching out for any sort of assistance. We have legacy students just hoping to leave their own mark. What I've noticed is that as we examine all of these various instances or experiences, the underlying value that is highlighted is the amount of similarities that we all have. The ability for us to all come together in a common space with the same goal in mind and to completely see it through. That's incredible. As we stand on the threshold of the future, we're not just celebrating the completion of a degree, but we're also celebrating the power of coming together to achieve a common goal. Every one of you are here because you recognize something. All of you, by being here today, recognize the importance of an education. You all recognize the importance of this certificate to accomplish your goals and to achieve your dream. All of you now are aware of the doors that will begin to open because you leverage them open. And beyond all the personal goals, there's something greater that unites us today. It's the understanding that education is not just about the individual success, but it's also about the collective advancement of society. When we come together to pursue knowledge, we're not only enriching our own lives, but we're also contributing to a better world. That's not to say that there weren't reasons to quit, because we all know there were. Whether it was late nights, early mornings, missed assignments, slept through alarms, or anything in between. I know some of us have kids to take care of, some of us have little siblings, some of us are well into our academic journeys, some are just now getting back. Some of us have spent decades in the real world and are coming back to school just to make a career change. Some of us have no idea what job would be a good fit and are just trying to fit in. Regardless, we are all here. We have all sacrificed much, but have stuck with it. You stuck with it for many different reasons. Whether it was because you understand the importance of a degree for your job, or whether it was because you felt it was simply the cheaper option, you all have advanced yourselves, and you've made it to this checkpoint. You are here. But where is here? Here is a mile marker. Here is a stepping stone, a symbol and an achievement. Here is fuel to go on. You have much to be proud of and so much more to achieve. This degree and this experience will help making achieving your dreams that much easier. Utilize it as such. Allow for the possibility that you have something important to contribute to the world, and that the world will be lesser off without that contribution. As we all head on to pursue something bigger and to make our contributions, I'd like to encourage three things. First, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Shake hands, meet people. Oftentimes in this life, it isn't about what you know or who you know, it's about who knows you. You have a skill and a perspective to offer, but if they don't know that, it's harder to prove it. It's okay to introduce yourself, it's okay to share a little bit. Second, always keep an open mind. In the same way all of our experiences and stories are linked by a common goal, so will so many of the people you encounter be linked. Be open to the idea that someone may have a perspective that can make things easier for you. Just as we all came together to obtain our degrees, let's continue to come together to address the issues that face us all. Understand that the more minds at a table, the more potential is created. Embrace diversity, foster collaboration, and build bridges that connect rather than walls that divide. And third, strive to cover all of your bases. Opportunity is at the crossroads of preparation and luck. And for some people who don't believe in luck, opportunity is at the crossroads of preparation and God's will. As long as you strive to cover all aspects of your life, whether that's physical, spiritual, emotional, professional, you can trust that all of the right opportunities will make themselves presentable at the right time. By being prepared, you allow yourself to best capitalize on that opportunity. Work on yourself and stay prepared. As we move forward in the next realm of our lives, remember these things. Remember that you have everything you need, all of the abilities necessary to make a difference. You have. As the world becomes more rapidly digital, you will stand out as somebody who could still communicate effectively. You will stand out as someone who could still network and as someone who could still strive for bigger things. Now that you have reached this accomplishment, now that you have met this goal, utilize it as a stepping stone. You have an obligation to, and a duty to, use your potential, use your skill, and use your education for good. So, graduates, help others, shake hands, and continue to bring your fullest self into every room that you enter. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the spring commencement exercises for Pellissippi State Community College. It is an honor for us to have the family and friends of the graduating class of 2024 join the faculty and staff of this institution for this special occasion. Also want to take a moment to thank Representative Elaine Davis, who has joined us backstage and here for our ceremonies. We're grateful for your presence with us. A very warm welcome for all of you who are graduating today. I want to be among the first to congratulate you. This is your day. You are here not because of any luck in the traditional sense of the word, but perhaps as defined by Talon Card and heir to the empire. I've found that what most people call luck is often little more than raw talent combined with the ability to make the most of your opportunities. I'm very proud of your ability to take your talent and make the most of this particular opportunity, and look forward to congratulating you personally in just a few minutes. This weekend seems like a good time to go through as many Star Wars quotes as possible. In The Empire Strikes Back, Yoda, legendary Jedi Master, said the following: "Difficult to see, always in motion is the future." In my mind, for those of you graduating today, it seems to be an opportunity to celebrate this accomplishment, to marvel at the uncertainty of tomorrow, and to imagine a better future by what you have learned and what you will learn. I hope that you've come to understand during your time here that your accomplishments are earned with love and kindness and the support of others. And I'm going to give you a moment to say thank you. So let's start. Graduates, why don't you give a little shout out, a wave, stand up, pick out your faculty and staff, give them a thank you for all of the hard work they did to help you get where you are. They're seated to the left and the right of you in the center of the auditorium. So let's thank them for their great work this year. And let's also take a moment to thank your family, your friends, your children, your spouses, your partners, your social network, those in your community. So stand up, look around, find them in the auditorium, give them a little wave, a little shout, say thank you. You know how important they were to your success. As you leave campus and head out into the wider world, you'll begin your work in your chosen field of study or transfer degree you'll complete a transfer degree before entering your chosen profession. Regardless of your path, my hope is that you will apply what you have learned in your studies here with a high degree of success. And that's whether you're a welder, a nurse, a maintenance technician, an audio engineer, a teacher, a manager, a lawyer, or whatever you may be, and maybe whatever you can't even imagine you will be at this point in time. I also hope you'll be an engaged citizen who reads and thinks and engages on the most important issues and challenges that face our communities and helps find solutions to our most pressing problems. We need you and your best ideas. I also hope that you know as you leave Pellissippi State that those who have encouraged you and supported you from this place to this point will continue to do so. Stay in touch. Let us know how we can help you on the next leg of your journey, even if it takes you to Dagobah or Endor. As we begin our ceremony, I would like to take an opportunity at this time to introduce you to the stage party. Lauren Jordan is our Grand Marshal and Mace Bearer. Students, Sandra Davis Bullis is our college banner carrier. Kelly Toon, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Rushton Johnson, Vice President of Student Affairs. Patty Weaver, Vice President of External Affairs. You've already heard from our honor graduate, Paul Fisher, and you'll soon hear from Regent Danny Varlin from the Tennessee Board of Regents. We've got Robin Richmond here to give the alumni charge as we get to the end of the ceremony. Our readers, perhaps the most challenging job this evening, so really grateful for Roxana Beach and Jesse Cragwall for their attendance and participation tonight. And then our deans, Michael Wolf from Business and Computer Technology, Margaret Ann Jeffries from Engineering and Media Technologies, Inez Gibson from English, Jesse Belknap from Health Sciences, Jonathan Fowler from Liberal Arts, Mary Ellen Spencer from the Libraries, Merve Kester-Thomas from Math, and Ron Bridges from Natural and Behavioral Sciences. Let's give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you. It's now my privilege to introduce Regent Danny Varlin, who will provide the commencement remarks for this particular ceremony tonight. She was appointed to the Tennessee Board of Regents on September 29, 2010 by then Governor Phil Bredesen, representing the 2nd Congressional District. She was reappointed both by Governor Haslam and Governor Lee to serve a second and then a third term. In her professional career, Regent Varlin has served as the Major Gifts and Annual Giving Officer at East Tennessee Children's Hospital, President of East Tennesseans for Airfare Competition, and Program Director from Leadership Knoxville. She has served her community in many capacities and continues to be one of the strongest advocates in our state for community and technical colleges, including this one. She spends a lot of time now volunteering at her church and on several boards, but most importantly, spending time with her grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming Regent Varlin to the podium.
Good evening. A month or so ago, I was at an Pellissippi event at the Airport Hilton, and one of the speakers was Paul, and he was unbelievable. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. And then I found out I'm following him. My worst nightmare. But seriously, he's so inspiring. That's really not true. His speech that he gave that day, a month or so ago, was very inspiring to me. So I'm going to take the opportunity tonight to share some thoughts with you. I'm very nervous because I'm usually the regent speaker. So all I have to do is say, Governor Lee says hi, and the 18 board members say hi, and, just easy peasy. Well, this is a whole different ballgame. So I hope that I'm going to have something of use to share with you. So first of all, I'm going to start out by just talking a few minutes about what is the Board of Regents. And as President Wise said, I'm one of 18 members of the Tennessee Board of Regents, which is the governing body for the state's 13 community colleges and 24 technical colleges. They're all over the state. So what does that mean? Let me spend a few minutes giving a brief overview of what we do. We are appointed by the governor and approved by the legislature. You can imagine how much fun that one is. The governor is our chairman, and we establish, govern, manage, and control the 37 colleges of the Tennessee Board of Regents. Our most important goal is to make sure that you, the students, get the best education you can at a price you can afford and can get a job in your field of study at a wage that allows you to support yourself and your family. How do we do that? Regents conduct searches for the best college presidents that we can find. We approve the curricula and the requirements for programs and degrees, including tenure for faculty. We oversee financial management, investments in property holdings, as well as the annual budget and raises. We establish policies regarding system and campus operations, including how to keep campuses safe for you. We approve strategic plans for the system and institutional missions for the colleges, and we set personnel policies, tuition, and fees. These are just a sample of the responsibilities, and no, we do not get paid. Now, please understand this. The hard work on all of this is done by the amazing people that are employed at the Board of Regents and the colleges. They do all the heavy lifting. The board's job is to consider, discuss, evaluate, approve, or disapprove. This is my 13th year as a regent, and I promise that all 18 of us would agree that our favorite part of the job is spending time with you, the students. We love seeing you on campus, attending events and hearing about your successes, visiting your classrooms and learning about what you're studying, judging student competitions, and best of all, attending graduations. You are why we think that being a regent is the greatest honor of our lives. Your stories inspire us, your determination invigorates us, and your success generates admiration and respect. Each regent has their own stories and reasons why they are passionate about and want to serve in higher education. I would like to take a few minutes to tell you about my story. When I graduated from college 40 years ago, in August of 1985, that's right, close to 40 years, I could not in my wildest dreams imagine, much less planned and fulfilled, the road I would travel. I am certainly not brilliant or have any special talent. Like many of you, I faced a multitude of challenges trying to attend college. I had no money, no car, no family support. I often faced food insecurities and struggled to pay the rent on my roach-infested Atlanta apartment. It was really gross. However, at the time, I honestly didn't know that there were so many strikes against me for completing college, and only as I've grown older do I understand how and why I was not only able to survive, but thrive. I never thought of myself as a victim or thought, poor me. I was just living my life. I thought I was Marlo Thomas from That Girl in the 1980s living in Atlanta, and it didn't even occur to me that not having a car or food was a problem. I'm kidding, of course it did. But I'm reminded of these experiences when I hear student stories and can understand and to relate to some of the challenges that you face. Your hardships have caused me to think a lot about how and why I made it through those very difficult times and what made the difference. Somewhere along the way, I discovered that I had some secret powers, and little by little, I was making progress toward a pretty incredible life. The best news is these powers are available and free to everyone who wants to use them. I've always been a positive person. My glass is half full, or really more like 3/4. It takes a lot to get me down. To me, life is not about what happens to you, but how you react to it and I call this attitude. My dear friend, the late great Pat Summitt, the Tennessee Vols 8-time national championship basketball coach, used to say, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Took me a minute to get that the first time she said it. So whether you think you can, whether you think you can't, you're right. That's attitude. Whatever I set my mind to do, I thought I could, and I believed it with all my heart. Obviously, I was very naive, but, attitude is attitude. Just in case you hadn't figured it out yet, everyone has problems. They may not be the same problems as yours, but every human being has problems. And sometimes we spend a whole lot of time trying to prove that our problems are bigger than everyone else around us, and we get in the victim and poor me mode. It's not going to help in any way, nor is it really going to entice anyone to try to help us. It's just a downer all the way around. So how do we overcome this? My 35 years of experience as a volunteer for many organizations has proven to me that not only am I not a victim, I'm blessed. Being a friend to others will often make you aware that problems that others have are worse than yours. Becoming more aware of the world around us, especially today, gives you the opportunity to see how blessed we are and how tough the life can be outside of our world. Bottom line is your attitude toward your challenges make all the difference in how you overcome them. When I first started out working, trying to pay my way through school, I had a couple of really terrible jobs, and then I had the great pleasure of becoming a legal secretary. And believe me, back then, in the early 80s, they made good money. You had to put up with lawyers, but they made good money. So when I first started, I actually was the investigator's secretary, and I sort of told them I could type, which I'd never taken. And I had no idea what a dictaphone was, where you listen, but hey, I was going to be able to figure that out, and I did. So after a little while, one of the main partner's secretaries became pregnant, and the partner asked me if I would be his secretary. You had to type an original in 6 carbon copies on a correcting selectric. There was no computer. But I did it. And I did it making a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. I probably would have fired me. There are lots better secretaries. But I really think it was because of my attitude. I was willing to work, willing to help, willing to type it over and over and over, and finally got better. But it was an opportunity that from there, I got to get into a whole different field. Again, I knew nothing about computers. Back then, we were starting to have computers in offices. So the law firm I was with then said, we're going to send you up to Philadelphia to Digital Equipment Company, and we're going to teach you all about data and word processing. I was studying English. Math was not my thing, and certainly there was no such thing as computer science really much then. So I did, and we ended up getting computers. And then I went to the next firm and did that. And then the computer company hired me to go and be their representative. That was before I got married, and thank God I made a lot of money because I had to pay for my own wedding. But after that, I got married, and after a couple of years, had a baby, and ended up staying home for 12 years with my 4 children. So I was already in a place that I never thought I'd be. It was like, wow, I had a job, and I actually made some money. I married a great guy, and we ended up with 4 kids, and I went back to work a little later. But I just want to go back to my words before I finish that part. So when we think the world is against us, and it sure does feel that way sometimes when things don't go our way, and we go around with a chip on our shoulders, it interferes with us being our best self. Whether it's with our family and friends or a job, a positive attitude can improve our state of mind as well as those around us. You might be the smartest person in the workplace, but if you have a lousy attitude, that's what people are going to see. It doesn't take long before the boss and your coworkers are pretty much over it. Being a helpful person can always be counted on and be the best way to get people to notice you and think about you in a higher position. In every job I've ever had, at every rung on the ladder, I've been the person that says yes to any task, no matter how big or small. None of this, it's not my job. Whether it's chairing a board, planning a major event, facilitating a meeting, or lugging cases of water, checking if the bathrooms are clean, and cleaning up afterwards. Doesn't matter. Yes is the answer. I'm always willing to help and do not believe that I'm too good for any job. That's attitude. Again, it is incredible how that can bring you opportunities. So this is my first secret weapon, and I honestly believe that it's the reason I've had so many wonderful opportunities for both paid and unpaid positions. Again, I say I'd rather hire a good person with a great attitude than experience or brains, because they're typically willing to learn. So this brings me to my second secret weapon, hard work. Nothing replaces hard work. No one will ever outwork me. Have you been in a group before where people are saying this about someone? Oh, they just sit around. They don't do anything. In my mind, that's one of the worst things you can ever say about someone. It makes people in your environment so mad, and it destroys culture when people don't carry their load. Again, you could be the smartest person in the room. Doesn't matter. If you have goals and want to achieve them, the only way to get there is hard work. There just aren't any shortcuts, whether it's raising children, owning a business, being in a relationship, completing a degree, wanting to move up in your job, or just being a friend. Hard work pays off. All the education in the world cannot fix a lousy attitude or a lousy work ethic. And finally, we're going to come to my very last secret power. And you can't just use one, you have to use them all together. And that is gratitude. Being thankful every day for the opportunities and the people that have helped and influenced me, and knowing that the life and the world that I love is mine only because of the grace of God and the people that love me. In my professional life as a fundraiser, I believe that you cannot thank somebody enough for their support. And I believe that in my personal life. Thanking people spreads joy, makes people feel good, and it reminds us that we have things to be thankful for, whether it's an unexpected act of kindness or service. Whether it's a family member or a stranger, being thankful is an attitude changer. And when I was standing in the lobby a few minutes ago waiting for all this to start, I was just looking at all the tables that are out there, and straight across there's a table, and it has this little chip on it. I don't know if any of you noticed, but it's there to take. And it was so weird because I knew what I was going to be talking about. And you know what it says? I'll always be grateful for your support. And you're supposed to give them to people, which I think is a really cool idea. So you might want to pick one up. I just want to finish a minute from where I left off. I stayed home for 12 years, was asked to join a leadership program, and afterwards they asked me if I would be the program director. The only thing I knew about leadership was how to lead a 2-year-old to the potty, to potty train. I had no idea what they were talking about. So, but I said, what'd I say? I said yes. And it worked out because my children didn't have to go to daycare. I could work my hours that were my children's school hours. So I did that, and it was wonderful for several years. Then a man that I had met before came up to me and said, and this is very strange and weird, we want you to run an organization that brings in low-fare airlines. I knew nothing about the airline business at all. So I said, okay. And we started this not-for-profit I was president of. And for 10 years, I worked with the airlines and all over the country trying to bring in low-fare service to Knoxville. which is where we have Allegiant and Frontier. No, we're not getting Southwest. That's a long story. But the bottom line is, had no idea. But this person had met me and said, oh, we want to hire her. There's no good reason other than attitude, and they knew I did hard work. And then finally, I had the chance to have the best job I've ever had, which makes me very emotional, and that was for East Tennessee Children's Hospital, the hospital that saved my son's life. He's getting married June 1st. And you know what? It was like God had prepared me to be able to finally give back to this place that had made my life so wonderful and prevented such horrible sorrow. But you know what they wanted me to do? Raise money. I don't know how to raise money. I had no idea. So I did that for 10 years and just retired and raised about $8 million a year. So it actually turned out well. But the point is, I never, ever, ever had a job I was qualified for. When they asked me to be on the Board of Regents, the governor's office called, and I knew the governor from Leadership Knoxville, and they go, oh, we would love for you to become a member of the Board of Regents. I did not know what that was. I never heard of it. That was not my space. I was a mother. And in the airline business, I had no clue. But again, somebody heard that I worked hard, and this is my 13th year. And what I want for you is to have those opportunities, to be able to look at your life and go, I had no idea these crazy things could happen to me. And if they can happen to you, not only with your degree, but with the hard work, attitude, and gratefulness that you're going to show. So today I'm grateful for what you have shown me with your perseverance, hard work, and positive attitude that got you to this place today. And I'm grateful for all the people in this room that have influenced you, supported you, educated you, listened to you, and believed in you. As the beloved author Alex Haley once wrote, if you ever see a turtle sitting on a picket fence, he didn't get up there by himself. So graduates, a great attitude, hard work, and being grateful for all of your blessings, along with your newly minted degrees and certificates, are the best way I know to live your best life. Congratulations.
Good evening, and thank you, Regent Varlin, for those inspiring words. As we prepare for the conferring of awards, please note the special cords and stoles that some of our students are wearing for the various honors they have earned. In addition to the various honors and achievements noted in the program, there are several notable accomplishments amongst our graduates that I will recognize at this time. Students, as I call your names, please stand and be recognized. Audience, please hold your applause until all the names have been called. First, an individual acknowledgement. Paul C. Fisher, would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that we celebrate the accomplishments of Paul C. Fisher, our commencement speaker, as he graduates with an Associate of Arts degree in Communication Studies. Paul has exemplified the spirit of Pellissippi State Community College through his profound impact as a student, leader, and advocate for change. Paul's journey from Guatemala to Knoxville has been nothing short of remarkable. His dedication to storytelling has shone brightly in his roles as a journalist, photographer, and an indomitable force on the speech and debate circuit. As president of the Student Government Association for this past year, Paul spearheaded our triumph in the Tennessee College voter registration competition, significantly boosting civic involvement amongst our students and registering the most first-time voters. As captain of the Pellissippi State Speech and Debate team, Paul has collected numerous titles and awards. His exceptional skills were highlighted at the National IPDA Debate Tournament, where he finished as the 7th place speaker. His prowess in debate also led him to the prestigious 2024 AFA National Speech Tournament, contributing to our school's ranking as the 2nd place community college program in the nation.
This year, Paul received several accolades, including the Aristotle Award for Debate Excellence, the Excellence in History Award, and recognition as the Outstanding Graduate in Communication Studies. His exceptional talents and commitment to journalism have also earned him the Ed Bradley Scholarship from the RTDNA Foundation. As Paul looks forward to continuing his education at a four-year institution and advancing his career in broadcast journalism, we have every confidence that he will continue to use his talents to give voice to the voiceless and make significant contributions to society. Paul, your journey inspires us all, and your future is bright with promise. Congratulations on your outstanding achievements. Please join me in saluting him. The Water Quality Technology Program at Pellissippi State is designed to train individuals for careers in water and wastewater treatment operations. It is the first program of its kind in the state and has been designed with a robust team of industry representatives to ensure that our curriculum prepares you for state-level certifications after graduation. The program provides both operational theory and a strong practical background in mathematics, chemistry, and aquatic sciences through coursework, site visits, and a capstone project conducted at a local water and wastewater treatment facility. In the graduating class today are students who are amongst the first to graduate from the new innovative and rigorous program, all of whom I believe had job offers before they completed the program. With us this evening, we have Michael Dustin Laughlin. Michael, would you please stand? Please join me in saluting him on this accomplishment. The Medal of Service is awarded to graduating students who serve at least 60 hours of documented community service during their career at Pellissippi State. In addition to managing their academic and personal responsibilities, they found time to give selflessly to their communities. In the graduating class, there were a number of students who earned this distinction. Students, please stand as I call your names. Elise Pickens, Haley Kubin, Ashley Wyman, Bailey Ownby, Audrey Walker, and McKenna May. Please join me in congratulating them for earning this distinction. As you may know, Pellissippi State began its inaugural season of competitive intercollegiate athletics this fall. This was truly an historic moment for the college. Tonight, for the first time in the college's history, we have students in the graduating class with the distinction of All-Panther Team member. The All-Panther team is comprised of student athletes who excelled on and off the field of play and represented the college and athletics department as outstanding individuals. Our first class of All-Panther team members will hold a special place in the history of Pellissippi State. Joining us this evening, we have Amadou Benjamin Ba, men's soccer team captain. Would you please stand, Amadou, and be recognized? I love it. Skills USA is an organization which offers competitive activities in which students strive to achieve in a variety of occupational skill and leadership areas. Competition in skill and personal achievement is encouraged at all levels. Leadership contests include public speaking, parliamentary procedures, safety, opening and closing ceremonies, and job interviewing. Occupational skill contests include building trades, health occupations, automotive technology, the electrical and electronics industry, and personal services. In the graduating class, there are several students that distinguish themselves in the state and national competitions by earning medals. Students who earn medals at the state level qualify for the national competition, which was held in Atlanta, Georgia last month, with gold medalists from the other 49 states. With us this evening, we have, earning a gold medal at the national competition, Jose Gabriel in welding. Would you please stand, Jose? We also have with us this evening earning a silver medal at the national competition, Jackson Walkington, for audio radio production. Would you please stand, Jackson, and be recognized? The National Society of Leadership and Success, or NSLS, is an organization that provides a life-changing leadership program that helps students achieve personal growth, career success, and empowers them to have a positive impact in their communities. With 816 chapters, the NSLS currently has 1.9 million members nationwide. Eligibility for induction into NSLS involves the successful completion of a rigorous multi-step process. During this process, candidates learn about the science of leadership, goal-setting techniques, problem-solving, and career development. They also attend live-streamed and pre-recorded speaker events where they interact with and learn from leaders, celebrities, and best-selling authors. At this time, I will recognize those students in the graduating class that have earned membership in the National Society of Leadership and Success. So students, as I call your names, please stand, and audience, please hold your applause until all the names have been called. Eliza Handley, Ansley Arnold, Dan Davis, Elise Pickens, Emma Marshall, Isabella Ellis, Jessica Sparks, Joshua Loyacano, Kisa Safeli, Maria Jose Ortiz, Sam Wyrick, Samantha Holt, Shayun An, Simone Durance, Josiah Brown, Alexander Jones, Andrea Bett, Haley Kubin, Kylie Loom, Fallon Resser, Ashley Wyman, Bensley John, Aubrey Vaughn, and Kimberly Crandell. Please join me in celebrating their accomplishment. Thank you. You may be seated. And finally, Pella CB State recognizes those students in the graduating class who have distinguished themselves academically by earning a particular cumulative grade point average. To recognize this accomplishment, some of our graduates have gold and royal blue braided cords adorning their caps and gowns. These cords represent our honor students who have a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or higher. Within our graduates, there are 3 distinct categories: cum laude with praise, magna cum laude with high praise, and summa cum laude with highest praise. There is a detailed explanation of these categories in your commencement program. Amongst our honor graduates, there is a small cadre of students that have distinguished themselves even further. They have completed their associate's degrees and earned a perfect cumulative grade point average of 4.0. They are designated this evening by the Royal Blue Mortar Board. Students, as I call your names, please stand, and we will celebrate your accomplishment once all the names are called. Patrick Angelino, Ashton Arndt, Dana Cutshaw, and Ashley Goins. Please join me in saluting them for this outstanding accomplishment. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, the conferral of degrees.
Thank you. All right. So we now move to the part of the ceremony for which the candidates have worked so diligently. The candidates will prepare for the conferring of their degrees. Will the candidates please rise? These candidates have successfully completed all of the requirements for the Associate of Applied Science, the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Fine Arts, or the Associate of Science in Teaching degrees. The faculty recommends these candidates to you for the conferring of these degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Tennessee Board of Regents, I do, on the recommendation of the faculty, grant you the degree that you will now be presented. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left of your mortarboard. Graduates, you may now move forward for the presentation of diplomas.
Hello. The following are candidates for the Associate of Applied Science degree. Carter Jariah Mabe, magna cum laude. Is this how we're doing it? Brian Stewart Radecki, magna cum laude. Blake James Mills. Christopher Daniel Johnson, cum laude. Jose Gabriel. Hayden Cole Cannell. Jacob Eli Roberts. Eli Brannigan Sledge. Ashton Mackenzie Arndt, magna cum laude. Cecilia Rose Lovelace, magna cum laude. Kiesia Janae Safel. Jacob Moy Hollenhead. Reagan Elizabeth Johnson. Peyton A. Malone. Christopher Andrew Collins, cum laude. Hannah M. Massengill. Okay. Carter Roy Fleener. Grant Reynolds Von Hagen. Ryan Alexander Pugh. Alexander William Jones. Michael Max Martinez, cum laude. Mark Joseph Belo, cum laude. Michael Storm Faust. Brenda Jean Campbell, cum laude. Portia Lynn Sauerhofer. Zainab Destiny Alcinda Ali, cum laude. Luke D. West. Zachary S. Parsons, magna cum laude. Heather Nicole Honick. Fallon C. Reeser. Zoe Catherine Cagle. Anthony Eric Jensen, cum laude. Brittany Olson. Sierra Rain Bauman. Andrea M. Bettis, cum laude. Jacob Ryan Williams. Caleb Bradley. Joseph Lindsay Angelino. Sawyer Zane Adams. Cynthia J. Swiger. Karen Elizabeth Thompson. Ansley Nicole Arnold, cum laude. Holly Anna Leslie. Cameron Grace James. Alicia Diane Wilson. Elisa Michelle Williams, cum laude. Zachary Thomas Wilson. Jessica Lynn Sparks. Kaylin Elizabeth Wright. Amia Dawn Sexton, cum laude. Sean Michael Barker, cum laude. Faith J. Kidwell. David Sofer, summa cum laude. Jacob Michael Collins. Crystal Jaden Guadana, cum laude. Thanks. Sarah Ashley Williams, magna cum laude. Cameron Jacob McCormick. Pablo Cotapos. Miriam Ray Barber, cum laude. Zachary Ryan Isbell, cum laude. Jackson Thomas Walkington, cum laude. Amelia Polillo, summa cum laude. Brandon Walker McCarty. Patrick Thomas Polnell, magna cum laude. Samantha Renee Wyrick, cum laude. Aubrey Shea Vaughn, magna cum laude. Bailey Ann Owenby. Ashley Haven Wyman. Ivan F. Shinzato. Yanni Mora Frutos. Alana Mae Anderson, magna cum laude. Shelby Lynn Heilman. Dan Thomas Davis, summa cum laude. Madison Grace Medley. Audrey Jillian Walker, cum laude. McKenna Grace May. Taylor Kate Pagodin. Devin Patrick Massengill. Addison Anthony Clark, cum laude. Rania B. Groden, cum laude. Katrina M. Meisner, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Alec Bohannon. Allison Grace Meek. Preston Jerome Bud Johnson. David Ray DeArmond. Elise Ann Pickens, magna cum laude. Charlie Rose Giles. Jonathan Gilman, cum laude. Yuri Del Carmen Garaban. Carolyn Simone Durance. Colin Andrew McGee. Maria Elizabeth Zapata Torres, summa cum laude. Benzi Hippolyte Jean, cum laude. Austin Tyler Clark. Carol Eliana Galindez Munoz. Dustin Laughlin. Dakota Hayden Arthur Green, magna cum laude. Gerardo Garcia Jr. Chrissia L. Billingsley. Andrew Charles Getter, magna cum laude. Amadou Tidiane Benjamin Ba, cum laude. Kimberly Crandall, cum laude. Summer Dawn Chesser, cum laude. Berius Xavier Moore. Jinhua Kirk. Isaiah Vanden Warren. Ezekiel Lee Thomason, magna cum laude. Kaylin Lachey Mills. Benjamin Ian Dallas Turner. Bailey R. McDaniel. Last yellow. Faith Adriana Mills. Are we done? Thank you.
The following are candidates for the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Fine Arts, or the Associate of Science in Teaching degrees. Paul Clifford Fisher. Sarah Catherine Standifer, magna cum laude. Dawn Krista Thaxton. Alexis Thaxton, cum laude. Connor Harrison Davis. Jose Concepcion Lopez. Ethan Patrick Cox. Emmeline Merritt Preston. Matthew Bradley Chadwell. Juvensky Pascal Hippolyte Jean. Josiah Michael Brown, magna cum laude. Morgan J. Hensroth. Hannah Ruth Seymour, cum laude. Caden Michael Elliott. Emma Elizabeth Marshall. Joshua V. Loyacano. Jordan Elizabeth Begley. Alan Michael Camarino. Robert Anthony Jenkins. Ahmed Imad Sakban. Eliza Jane Handley. Joshua Landon Belisle. Louis Eugene Hahn. Patrick Robert Angelino, summa cum laude. Maria Elizabeth Payne. Simon Cade Ostrom. Andrew Garrett Johnson, magna cum laude. Samantha Jean Ann Holt. Hannah Julaine Hoopert. Ashley Suzette Goins, summa cum laude. Allison Paige Williams. Elliot M. Lloyd, magna cum laude. Emma Grace Brunson, magna cum laude. Dana Michelle Cutshaw, summa cum laude. Kylie Nicole Lum. Maria Taylor Miller, cum laude. Victor M. Gomez Padilla. Madison Aaliyah Turner, magna cum laude. Ashlyn Lizzie O'Neill, magna cum laude. Daisha Nicole Bartley, cum laude. Haley Grace Cuban, summa cum laude. Liliana Gutierrez. Mason Elijah Guider. Isabella Marie Ellis, magna cum laude. Aaron Douglas Hickman. Chloe Rose Stewart, magna cum laude. Emma Claire McQuilkin, cum laude. Susanna Diane J. Jaden Bryce Fortiche. Daisy Alexandra Kofi, summa cum laude. Maria Jose Ortiz Quinones. Xian An, magna cum laude. Carrie Josephine Fisher, Associate of Applied Science and Business Management. Carrie Josephine Fisher, Associate of General Science. Alexis Nicole Bledsoe. Hannah Nicole Fritz, magna cum laude. James Adam Kegley, cum laude. Valerie Nicole Grail. Brandon Allen York, magna cum laude. Jalen M. Nickerson. Madeline C. E. McConnell. Isabella Keeley Burns. Kendall Nicole Sanders. Kimberly Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Jonah Bryce Webb. Raven Leanne Taylor.
Yes. Woo! That's one of my kids.
Katrina Renee Grooms, cum laude. Bailey Christine Neal. Sincere Ashe Truss. Thaddeus Austin Smith, cum laude.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2024. Please join me in saluting them.
So I'd like to take a moment just to congratulate the class of 2024 once again. We're so excited to see what the future holds for you. The final words tonight belong to one of our alumni. So I'm going to introduce you to Robin Richmond. She is the founder and the creator of Tickled Orange Photo Booth and Sugar Mama Cotton Candy Company. She is a 2014 graduate of Pellissippi State. So Robin, podium's yours.
Thank you, Dr. Wise. Good evening. Are you excited? Yeah? My name is Robin Richmond, and like you now, I'm a proud alumna of Pellissippi State Community College. As a mother and a small business owner, I understand the excitement and eagerness as you make preparations for the next level of your adventures. There will be more life to post, selfies to upload, and new places to check into, not only from a personal angle, but from a professional angle as well. With that being said, I want to share a bit of post-worthy humor and wisdom from my own experiences. I once came across a meme that humorously read, "Life is about knowing a guy. Getting older is about knowing a guy, a plumbing guy, a roof guy, a tax guy, etc." While funny, there is a glimmer of truth to it. Speaking from experience, I would argue that there is more than a glimmer of truth to that statement. The part about knowing a guy or a lady who's a plumber, a dentist, a CPA, a hairstylist, a realtor, electrician. I could go on. The reality is, knowing someone or connecting with someone familiar could be the key to unlocking new opportunities. 5 years ago, I was a newly developed entrepreneur busting at the seams for my business to be discovered. I didn't have many viable resources except for knowing a guy. As a student in 2012, I worked with a night shift nurse who introduced me to her son's branding company. This would be the company I would use 7 years later to develop my website and business model. The same guy introduced me to our local Chamber of Commerce. I met with several individuals within the chamber to introduce my business. One lady in particular was captivated by my business idea and concept. This prompted a successful business launch that landed my product in front of an audience of 2,000 plus. That was in 2019. To date, my company, Tickled Orange Photo Booth, has staged and served 200 plus events in our area, including nonprofit fundraisers, corporate events, private events, and weddings. The success of this business model prepared my second business, Sugar Mama Cotton Candy Co., developed in 2023 to complete 250 plus projects. In addition, you can find both companies on numerous preferred vendor lists, just in case you're looking for a vendor. Graduates, you also possess a creativity and youthfulness that can open countless doors. As you move forward, continue to grow your networks and professional relationships. Learn about those resources around you and the names and faces of those resources. Because when you find yourself at the threshold of an unexpected opportunity or even an unpredicted challenge, you might discover that the door to the solution is actually standing wide open for you, all because you know a guy. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and may your journey continue to be filled with exciting adventures and new connections. Thank you. Welcome to the Alumni Association. I encourage you to stay connected and become involved with your alma mater. We will now close out our ceremony. Before we leave and continue our celebration with family and friends, we'd like to mention the following departure procedures. The main road that surrounds Faith Promise is a one-way loop. As you leave the ceremony today, we encourage you to exit the parking lot and drive northwest towards Oak Ridge to return to Pellissippi Parkway. We hope you travel safely and have a good evening.